All right, kind of off the cuff, but Pete and I thought we would bring you a special edition video of our secret homemade lime cordial. So here we go. So let's start with the ingredients. We have our limes. You need about 18 or so. I pre-washed them. We have our rum, whatever your choice is. We have cilantro seeds. We have 2 3-cup mason jars. We have some fancy little bottles. We just saved these from some wine or some drink that we had in the past. We have a juicer. We have a peeler. We have our sugar, our cheesecloth, and a scale if you want to get real technical with things. So the process is going to be this. We're basically going to be peeling all these limes. We're going to be stuffing that peel into the mason jar. We're going to be adding the cilantro and a little bit of the rum. That basically stays in that jar and sits. We kind of shake it once in a while. I think it's for 48 hours. And we then mix that with the juice of the limes, which we're going to keep in the other jar, some water and some sugar, and there you go. So first step is peeling the limes. So I have my mason jar ready. Now, if you want, you can just, as you're peeling the limes, stick the peel right in here and pretty much don't pack it in, but just wait till it gets to the top, fill it in till it gets to the top. Or you can get a little more technical. We have our scale here, which is set to ounces. And we want to have about 5 ounces is what we figured out of lime peel. Then you put that lime peel in the jar and go from there. So here we go. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying my best, and it's hard with certain peelers, but you want to try to get as little of the pith, which is that white stuff, in with the peel. It's a little bitter. So we have our jar of peels. I'm curious to see what we end up as far as how many ounces. Remember I said about 5 ounces is what we found worked well before. So that's 7 ounces. So a little extra, but that's okay. I'll probably just add a little extra rum to the mix to make up for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of these back in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up adding a total of 1 tablespoon of the coriander seeds. And I need to grab a scissor. All right, so we're going to add 1 tablespoon of coriander, and I'm going to kind of intersperse that as I fill this with more of the peels, just so it's not like all of them are on the bottom or anything like that. So put a few of those in. They'll probably end up all on the bottom anyway, but okay, and then we have our 8 ounces of rum. And a little splash extra. All right, then we just close this up. We'll give it a little shake. And this sits for 48 hours. Every once in a while, once a day, a couple times a day, we shake it up just to make sure that it's not all settled on the bottom. And you'll see as over time, it definitely settles down and it changes color and it's pretty cool. So we'll continue from there. While this is soaking, you may as well go ahead and cut up your limes and juice them and have that ready for when this is done soaking in about 48 hours. You have everything ready just to mix up and you're good to go. So we need about 2 cups worth of juice. We tend to find that we need more limes than what we needed for as far as the peels. So we'll see what ends up this time. It just depends on the limes. So I'm going to go ahead and start juicing these guys, and we'll see how much we end up with as far as overall limes. All right, here we go. All right, we're getting there. We have 1 cup. Whew, okay, that was a workout, but worth it, believe me. So we did end up going through all of those limes to end up with that with the 2 cups. So we're just going to go ahead and put this in the mason jar so we have it for later. All right, so we have our juice and we have our peels with the coriander seeds and the rum. We'll wait for this to marinate for 48 hours, which is hard to be patient for this deliciousness, but it pays to be patient. And then we'll mix it all together and show you how that happens. So part 2 of our cordial making. So to continue on, we talked about how this was going to change color, and we had shaken it a few times over the last 48 hours. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's definitely, the rind is kind of this weird green now, and the color of the liquid is no longer clear. It's got some nice color to it. So now basically what I have on the table here is, of course, the rinds soaking in the coriander seeds and the rum. We have the juice that we had left over. We juiced all those limes and have left over. It should be around 2 cups or so. We have our sugar, which we're going to add. I have a ½ cup of water, which we're going to add. I have our bottles ready. I have some spoons for tasting as we go. The strainer with the cheesecloth. Now we have this cheesecloth ready. This is where this comes in, and kind of inside a strainer that's going to collect all the seeds and all the pulp and all that into a jar here, which is going to be our mixing jar, container, and a whisk and a funnel. All right, so I'm going to start with the rinds here. Okay, just going to kind of let that go. I can hear it still draining a little bit. Oh yeah, still getting stuff out. All right, I'm going to put that in the bowl, get rid of it. Doesn't matter if you get everything out. All right, put it in again, and now we're going to pour the juice in there. Leave it open. Just so you get all the pulp out. I mean, I guess you could skip this part, but it's nice to have a nice clean liquid. So I'm kind of wringing this out as I go. Just, I don't know if you can kind of see that, making a little pocket so it doesn't squeeze out the sides. But I'm trying to get all this juice to come out. It takes a minute. You gotta be patient. This is where some people actually go, like if you're like a professional bartender and you want to make this really pretty, you can do things to actually clarify. This can I think it was just the lime juice, but I mean it could be the whole thing. It looks pretty. It makes it look nice. We did it. It wasn't worth the effort for us. I mean, this is just homemade stuff for us. If we were, bartenders, maybe we would be doing that. But you can play with that. It's fun. But that's not something that we're showing you. So now we're going to add the sugar in the water. just tell you this smells really, really good. So we have our half a cup of water. This just cuts it a little bit. This is pretty acidic right now, and that's also why, you know, 1.5 cup of sugar, that sounds like a lot, but it's actually not. And you could, you know, do this to your own taste after you've done it a few times. If you found that this is just not sweet enough for you, you could add more, but I'll just warn you that you want some tartness to this because you're adding it to other stuff. And we found, we did this with oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and the grapefruit one was very, very good. The lemon one was good as well, but the orange one didn't have enough acidity to it. So just, you know, you can play around with that, but I just warn you not to make this too sweet. I'm going to add the 1.5 cups of sugar. And with the limes, this is pretty consistent. You know, when you're working with the grapefruit, I mean, depending on the grapefruit, some grapefruit are sweeter than others. So you may want to just add some of it and then play with it from there. So now you gotta whisk this, and you need to whisk it for a while because you want that sugar to dissolve in the liquid as best as possible. I'm going to taste it now just to make sure that it doesn't need more sugar. No, I think it tastes perfect. It's because you want some tartness to it because, you know, again, you're adding this to other stuff, so it's going to be a whole lot stronger. You would not want to down just this because that would just tear your stomach up. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to pour it into some bottles. Remember, we just got in these bottles, I don't even remember what was in them, but it was just, you know, some wine or some other concoction. And it just looks pretty. This is a really nice gift, actually. Then you just top those off. They're in the fridge for when you want to make a drink. And there you go. You know, this can be used with any recipe where you see like Rose's lime juice in a cocktail recipe. We've done that before, works really well. We're gonna go ahead and make a gimlet and yeah, show you how it's done. All right, so I have the ice cubes in our shaker here, half a shot of water, and then you're gonna do a 1-to-1 ratio with this. You're gonna do 1 shot of gin, perfect amount. All right, and then 1 shot of our cordial. That's the lid. Top it off with a slice of lime. And there you go. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to check out our website for other videos and articles on our Around the World Life Reset.